Hello, Luke Michael Howard, PhD and clinical hypnotist here with another episode of Storytime, where I share real stories of real clients that I've had in almost 20 years of being a clinical hypnotist. Obviously the names and locations of the clients have been changed for their security and to keep client therapist confidentiality. And this story is about a lady who had trichotillomania. That's a terrible word to say. Trichotillomania. Very hard to say. And basically what it is somebody who has an uncontrollable urge to pull hair out of their head and chew it and swallow it. And she'd come to me, very young lady, very attractive, and this was just tremendously affecting her. She had beautiful hair, but she would wear a hat to cover her whole head, especially the front, because she had a bald patch where the hair wasn't growing anymore because she had this uncontrollable urge to pull hair out of her head, and it was really causing her some distress, some anxiety, some depression in her life. And she'd gone to other doctors and therapists and read all kinds of books, and nothing helped her. She was even put on medication by somebody that was a little bit crazy. So she came to see me, and the very first thing I did was I got her to keep a journal. And what that journal was, a journal of her pulling out her hair. And the first thing I asked her to do is I wanted her to keep a journal of every time she pulled hair out of her head, and I wanted her to have set times in the day where she'd pull hair out of her head, and we'd set those times. I think it was 12 noon, 3 p.m, 6 p.m, 9 p.m. You're thinking, I'm crazy. Why am I telling a client who's paying me good money to pull their hair out more and do their problem more? Well, there's a very good reason, and the intelligent people out there will already have got that reason. And I said that she needed to do this 4 times a day, every day, and keep a journal. Otherwise she'd fail the task, if you will. And I must say that she told me that she was pulling out her hair, I think we worked it out, about 4 hours a day in actual time prior to this. So she came back for session number 2, and I asked to see her journal, and she's like, Luke, I'm really sorry. I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean you're really sorry? She's like, I couldn't keep up with the journal you had me. I couldn't just pull my hair 4 times a day. I just didn't have time. I'm like, you didn't have time? You told me you were really good at this. You told me this has been a problem through all your whole teen years and early 20s, and it's plagued you for so long, and you've seen so many specialists, and you couldn't do it 4 times a day? You failed the test. She looked at me and she looked really, really disappointed. An interesting thing, right, on a side note, is what she was expecting is to come in and to see me for me to tell her to do it less. If she could do it less, she wouldn't need to come and see me. But the presupposition is if you can do your problem, and you can do your problem even more, the presupposition is if you've got control of doing it more, then on some level that means you must be able to do it less. So when she started to see that on an unconscious level, she came back in. She's like, I could only do it 1 or 2 times a day. And yeah, she really wore this hat all the time. And she had great fear about it because, again, she's a very pretty girl, but she had so much shame about this bald patch in the front of her head. And I told her for next week that she needed to take that hat off, go to school, go home, and just be with it. Just watch people's reaction, feel the reaction, feel her own reaction when she looks in the mirror, because she'd wear the hat even when she was brushing her teeth. She's like, I don't think I could do this. I'm like, do you want my help? She's like, yeah, I paid you. I'm like, trust me, just do this. And she was really nervous, and she was really anxious because she had so much that had been invested in this problem. A week goes by, she comes back in, aimed for session 3, and she's not wearing the hat. And it's like, I think the first time I saw her without the hat. I'm like, how you doing? She goes, the weirdest thing. When you told me not to wear that hat, I was terrified. I had so much panic in me. I'm like, I can't get through this. I don't even want to leave the house. I was going to call into work sick and not show up to school that week. But I decided to trust you and go with it. And I started to walk down the street, and I noticed some people's reaction. They were kind of giving me the evil eye, the stink eye, the crook eye. Actually, it bothered me to begin with. But after seeing 3, 4, 5 people, I realised it's just silly. Just silly. People are silly. They've got nothing better to do. They'd look for a second, and they'd look onto the very next thing that was in front of them. And she goes, yeah, I don't want this hat anymore. I realise I've been hiding this. I've been such shame about this, and it's just kept me trapped, and I'm done with it. I ain't wearing this hat anymore. And she was down to like about once or twice a day. She was not 1 or 2 hours, but once or twice a day that she was eating her hair. Didn't really give her any more tasks. She came in for the 4th and final session a week later, and she had this big smile on her face. Like, why are you so happy? She's like, I don't care about this anymore. I just don't do it anymore. Like, it's just silly. I mean, it was something that I used to do, and I used to do it as a kid, but I just don't want to do this this hair pulling anymore. It's just made me miserable for so long, and I just feel like I've outgrown it. You know, like when you are young and there's a certain toy you play with as a youngster, it's great fun, but then looking back at it as an adult, it's not that much fun. Or when you were perhaps a teenager, there was a form of music that you really loved, you really enjoyed. For me, it was Kiss. But then when you look back, or when you listen back as an adult, you're like, I listened to that crap? I mean, you know you did it, but you're like, I wouldn't listen to that crap now. Or perhaps there was an item of clothing or a style you had as a youngster growing up, and it looked really cool at the time. But having the foresight to have hindsight and looking back now as an adult, you're like, I wouldn't be seen dead in that outfit now. Yeah, it was cool at the time, but that was a weird style. I'm glad that I've upgraded my wardrobe. And I was happy to report I stayed in contact with her for about a year and a half after that session, and she never went back to pulling her hair or eating her hair. I've been Luke Michael Howard, clinical hypnotist, and this has been Storytime.